We have a lot on the agenda today. Hello there! So today we have a very exciting video, at least for me, because I got to do a lot of research on it. Today we're going to be looking into skincare dupes. And you might be thinking, like, how the hell do you even dupe skincare? And it's difficult, for sure. It has different aspects. So I'm not a cosmetic chemist. I'm in no way a professional when it comes to skincare formulation. So everything I'll be claiming here today is mostly from the little bit of research I did on the ingredients and from what I could understand. Then also from how the product feels, how it absorbs into the skin, how's the texture, and stuff like that. So it's mostly dupe from my own experience while using the products, I would say. So these may not necessarily be exactly the same when it comes to some like long-term effects and their targeted use, but I thought that they were interesting enough to mention in this video, and I also am quite proud of these because there's like a huge price gap with majority of these products. So let's get right into this. I'm gonna start off with one very interesting dupe that I found out just recently, and it's actually an exfoliant dupe. So quite recently I started using the Paula's Choice Skin Perfecting 2% BHA liquid exfoliant with salicylic acid. I bought the mini one, which is 30 milliliters, and it's quite pricey, but it also has a very good reputation, so I was dying to try it out. It unclogs and shrinks in large pores. It also smooths and evens out the skin tone, and overall I just love using BHAs, mostly for my huge ass pores and these sebaceous filaments I get in them. And I've been using quite a lot of liquid exfoliants. This one looked quite nice because it was very popular, so I was very excited to try it out. And the dupe for this very famous exfoliant is actually super affordable and actually a very new product. This is from DM drugstore, of course, I fucking love that drugstore. This is the Bala Beauty Expert Liquid Peeling with 2% BHA. It is perfume free, it's huge, look at this bottle, and it's like, it's so affordable. I could not even, when I saw this in the drugstore, I was so excited, I just had to get it immediately. And when I got home, I was very excited to use it, and it is almost exactly the same. Like, I was so excited about this that I just had to put it in the video despite the fact that everything else was filmed and I had to like fill this in forcefully. I was so excited to find out that they're so similar. So here they both have very little ingredients, so I don't really think I have to talk about the ingredients that much. They both have the same percentage of the BHA, they both use salicylic acid, and they actually have very similar ingredients. They both contain green tea leaf extract, which helps with sebum production and further pore clogging. So yeah, like they're pretty much the same. The Balea one has slightly less ingredients. It has only 6 ingredients, which I think is amazing. But the Paula's Choice one has also like 8, so very similar. And they feel almost identical. I would say the Balea one smells a little bit better, but in terms of texture, these are almost identical. Like, I don't know if you can see it in the clip, the texture of both of these is a little bit almost like oily, like a little bit sticky, slick. I don't know how to describe that, but it's definitely not just like water and it sinks right in. Not at all. The one exfoliant that did that for me was the Geek and Gorgeous one, which I absolutely love, and I will be repurchasing it because the texture is really unique. None of these two have that they would literally sink in within minutes, but I think they're both quite effective. I've been using them both. I think my nose, where the filaments usually get the worst, are improving significantly when I kind of go back and forth with these. If the manufacturers are lying and both of these actually have 2% of BHAs, I would say these are like incredible dupe for each other because it even has the green tea. How cool is that? These are literally like almost the same, and the price difference is wild. Second product we have is also pretty exciting. The second product we're going to be duping is the infamous Fenty Skin Fat Water. This is their pore refining toner serum, so it's kind of like this skincare hybrid, kind of inspired by K-beauty. I fell in love with this so much when they launched in Czech Republic. I was obsessed. I had to get it. I love it. It's really good. This is my second bottle, that's why it looks almost unused, but I really like it. This is like this kind of jelly thick serum-y texture. It doesn't really improve my pores all that much, but I really like how it feels on my skin, and it's quite nicely hydrating, so I like it a lot. And the dupe for this gem is the Revolution Hyla Boost Jelly Water. This is magical. I'm telling you, magical. It's exactly the same kind of consistency. It is kind of jelly, it plumps very nicely, it's super hydrating, it's like kind of thick, so good. It feels like so satisfying to put these on your face. The only difference between these two, I mean, not the only difference, but one of the differences is kind of the purpose of the products, as the Fenty one is supposed to be more for like managing your pores, and it's not primarily for hydration, but the Revolution one is actually supposed to be like mainly hydrating and plumping. So maybe if based on your goal, you could kind of decide which one is going to be better for you. But again, the price difference is wild. So in the Fenty skin one, we have witch hazel, we have niacinamide. There's also reddish root ferment filtrate, so you know, fermented ingredients, some of my favorites, very common in K-beauty. And then we have different plant extracts, just like cactus flower and others, together with glycerin. So you don't really have that much of like a hydrating assortment of products, but I really like how it feels on the skin. And then we have the Revolution one, which is very similar in the sense that it does contain witch hazel as well, but it also has glycerin, panthenol, hyaluronic acid in different molecular weights, and it also has cactus flower extract. So they're quite similar. The Fenty one contains niacinamide as an extra, so that's where the pore refinement comes in, and the Revolution one contains the hyaluronic acid, which is where the more of the hydration comes in. So yeah, very similar in terms of texture. Both are kind of like the jelly watery texture, feel amazing, sink in amazing, and I really like them both. I do. They are both alcohol free, which is great. The only thing I would like to point out that the Fenty one I think is fragranced. It smells very nice, like the whole line is nicely fragranced. This one is fragrance free and it stinks like plastic. It's kind of like pungent when you first use it, but then you just kind of get used to it, and I was just liking the product itself so much that I stopped caring about the smell as much, but it doesn't smell good. It doesn't. The next one is a dupe that kind of came to me after like a very long time of using both of these products, and I did not realize how similar they are until I repurchased one of them. So the product we're going to be duping is the infamous Drunk Elephant F.Balm Electrolyte Waterfacial Mask, which is a hydrating mask slash kind of like a night cream. It's a very nice hydrating cream, basically. Comes in this packaging, you know, their standard one, and it's like very kind of thick and potent. I love to use it at night. It really hydrates your face super nicely, and it contains vitamin F and sodium PCA to restore your face, plump it, strengthen the barrier. So it's very good. I really like it. It contains a lot of ingredients that I love. So we have squalene, we have niacinamide, we have coconut water, jojoba seed oil, glycerin, and there are like some other moisturizers and humectants. When you look at the ingredients, some of them I don't even know. And you also have many ceramides to repair the skin barrier, of course. So this is really a great product if your barrier is a little bit off, if you feel like your skin just needs a break, or if it needs some serious hydration. And that's when I use it, and that's why I love it. It's been really good for me, but it's super pricey. And one product that really reminds me of it, and mostly because they smell so similar, is the Beauty Bay Thirst Class Rich Moisturizer. This is so similar in terms of both the texture and the scent. I don't understand. I think they're both unfragranced, but they smell so similar. This one is also hydrating, also very thick, the kind of like balmy, masky texture, which I really like. But it also contains oatmeal and oat lipids. So it has like a similar function in terms of, you know, repairing the skin and replenishing it. But it also contains glycerin, squalene, and niacinamide, so there are some similar ingredients in both of these. But you also have panthenol and sunflower seed oil. And also in general, just Beauty Bay really tries to make their skincare ingredients list very minimal. So there aren't as many like weird emollients and hydrators that I never heard of as with the Drunk Elephant one. But I would say that these two are incredibly similar, and even the effect of them is very similar. Maybe if your skin is very damaged or extremely dry, you are going to feel some difference, you know, in the amount of the ingredients and the hydrators in the formula. However, for my skin, these two have very similar effect, and they're both some of my favorite moisturizers in the winter for the nighttime, or just when my skin barrier is totally busted. This is when I reach for these two, and I absolutely love them. I cannot recommend them enough. Also, just so you know, the Beauty Bay one is almost twice the amount. It's huge. So another dupe that I have is for nothing else but the infamous Glow Recipe Watermelon Glow Niacinamide Dew Drops. This product is iconic at this point. Everybody and their mama tried it. It's a nice product. I must say I'm not the biggest fan of it. For some reason, when I ordered some stuff from Glow Recipe, I was convinced that this is going to be my favorite product ever. Not at all. I actually don't reach for it that much, and I don't really like reach for that glow, you know, like I don't really care if my skin is that glowy because I usually make it up with the makeup application and other products. So I'm like, I don't know. But yeah, this is a legend. Like the whole watermelon line from Glow Recipe is like legend. So when I found something that was just a little bit close, I was super excited. But let's just talk about these for a minute. The Niacinamide Dew Drops are of course made in Korea. We have some K-beauty over here. And it's kind of like a makeup skincare hybrid, which is supposed to be, of course, a niacinamide serum. But on top of that, it's also supposed to give you like a beautiful dewy glow, which it definitely does. And it looks amazingly dewy if you're into that kind of look, without congesting your pores or making you feel like super sticky and disgusting, which is great. The ingredients we have here are glycerin, niacinamide, and hyaluronic acid, together with some other emollients. So it's nice, it's hydrating, it's very universal. I quite like it, but it is a little bit thicker in texture than I actually expected. Now, the dupe I have for this is not an exact dupe, and I think from the ones that I presented till now, this is probably like the least accurate one, but this is a very hard product to replicate in any way. But what I do have here is the new Essence Hello Good Stuff Glow Serum Primer. So we also have like a skincare makeup hybrid. In this case, we have something that is supposed to be a glowy serum, but on the other hand, not really a highlighting product, but more like a priming product for the makeup. It's very similar in some of the ingredients. We also have glycerin for the hydration, and we also have niacinamide for the brightening and, you know, the pore stuff it does. We all love niacinamide. So it is a little bit similar, it just doesn't have the hyaluronic acid, so it's definitely not as hydrating. It also contains watermelon fruit water, you know, obviously, and it's a very, very nice product. If you compare two of those, they're kind of similar. This one feels a lot less like skincare. So the Essence one is definitely a bit more lightweight. It gives you less glow, but I also find that it sinks in quicker. So when I do use it with makeup, I actually prefer it to the Niacinamide Glow Drops because it doesn't make my face feel like so full of stuff, you know? The Niacinamide drops are very potent. I wasn't expecting that, as I said. But this one is a lot more lightweight, so maybe if you like a similar effect, but you don't enjoy like the stickiness and that like slight heaviness of the Glow Recipe drops, maybe you would like this one better. So it really, I think it really depends on what you're looking for, but this was as close as I could get. Like seriously, it's impossible. It's just impossible. Next product we have is a little bit random, but I wanted to mention it even though I have just one of them too. So the product I'm talking about is the Bioderma Micellar Water. I'm gonna put the picture up here. I don't have it currently. However, a dupe for this, and I already mentioned it, but I wanted to have it in this video as well, is the Bala Micellar Cleansing Water. I have the cactus one. It doesn't matter which one you take, they all pretty much, you know, feel and do the same thing. I just wanted to mention it if you're looking for a cheaper alternative for the Bioderma Micellar Water. This one is a great option. It already featured in one of my favorite videos. It's not fragranced, it's dermatologically tested, it's super affordable. You get like this huge bottle, which is actually the same size as the Bioderma one. So you're really saving a lot of money by using this one. And I would say they feel exactly the same and work exactly the same as well. So this was like a little fill-in, you know, section of a product that I know is a dupe, but I don't really have the second one. But now we're going to dupe another K-beauty product. This is the Laneige Lip Sleeping Mask. Everybody knows it, okay? Everybody knows it at this point. It's a night mask for your lips. It's gorgeous. They smell amazing. They feel great. They don't do much in my opinion, but they feel very nice. So here I have the vanilla one. Sadly, I don't have the same like tone of them, but it's very pricey, okay? Everybody likes it, I think. Yeah, it's very popular. Everybody likes it, and it's also very pricey. So I was very excited to see that Sephora launched their own lip masks. They actually have a vanilla one, but I don't have it. So I have the strawberry one here. And this is also their lip sleeping mask, which is quite big. I mean, this is like the smallest Laneige mask you can get, but it's quite big and it's super affordable. And I also find it very similar to the texture of the Laneige one. So This one has a lot less ingredients, but still it was super confusing to go through the ingredients list of these two products. All I could think of, all I could like figure out was that there's a lot of ingredients, a lot of emollients, a lot of, you know, things that just make it that weird texture. And yeah, they both have shea butter and some other emollients, and they both feel almost exactly the same. I would say the Laneige one is a little bit thicker and the Sephora one is a little bit more liquidy, but still I feel like they are almost the same product, and again the price difference is pretty big. So if you would like to try a very good lip mask and you don't feel like splurging on the Laneige one, I would definitely go in with the Sephora one, because in my opinion it's very, very good. And speaking of Laneige, we have another product from them. This is, again, their infamous Laneige Cream Skin Toner and Moisturizer. This is a super, super famous 2-in-1 product. This is like the K-Beauty at its best also, okay? Innovative formula, great ingredients, amazing results. It's just great, but it's pricey. It's very pricey. I love it. I ordered a small one a while back, loved it so much, traveled everywhere with it. I needed to get a big one because it's so good. I really like it. When I have super dry skin, especially in the winter, or like for the nighttime, this is the perfect toner you can get. It's very thick though, so make sure you apply like thicker serums on top and not like super thin ones, so you're not like messing up your texture pyramid or whatever. There's green tea in it, then there's something called meadow foam seed oil, which I don't really know, but it surprisingly doesn't have that many ingredients. I would pretty much describe it as like a liquefied moisturizer. You can use it as both a toner and a moisturizer. Sometimes I like to use it as a sandwich. So that's how I usually go for it. And it has green tea extract, so it's just a very nice, hydrating, kind of brightening, plumping, beautiful, amazing thing with the best texture ever. So I'm just very excited about products like this. And then I recently discovered Fluff Superfoods, which is a Polish brand. I spoke about them a couple of times, I think, on my channel. They recently launched in the Rossmann drugstore, and I freaking love their stuff. I really do. And I got their face toner with tiger nut milk, which looks like this, and it's just so similar to the Laneige one. I cannot even. It's very similar even in texture. As you can see, it's like this milky, kind of a little bit thicker than water product, and this one smells a lot better, I must say. The Fluff one, I'm not sure if it's fragranced or not, but it smells, yeah, it is fragrance, but it smells divine. I fucking love it. But they do differ in ingredients quite a bit. The Fluff one has a lot more ingredients in general, but you have glycerin, you have sweet almond oil, hydrolyzed yeast protein, niacinamide, and macadamia seed oil, together with panthenol and allantoin. So you kind of have like a mixture of a lot of these like hydrating ingredients, but also calming ingredients. So you know exactly what's the purpose of this, okay? So it's kind of like deeply hydrating and also like a very moisturizing, nourishing, and really like protecting the skin and calming it down. It comes with a spray, which is not my favorite because it's very violent, so I don't like to use it on my face directly. They're very similar. They both soak in like similarly into the face, and when I applied them side by side, I almost couldn't tell which one is which side. Like, besides the scent, they just feel the same. So if you really want to try something with a milky texture and you're not sure if you're gonna like it, if it's not gonna be like too thick for you or something, maybe you don't want to invest into the Laneige cream skin like, you know, straight up, I would highly recommend trying this one or another one of these milky toners from Fluff, because they're so good. And I also really like the fact that this has niacinamide, because I love niacinamide in everything. I would put it on my toast if I could. Last but not least, we have a little fail for the end. I've been meaning to test these two for a minute. The product I'm talking about is the Wishful Skin Yo Glow Enzyme Scrub. Do I have it with me now? No, I don't. Wait for the story time, people. So, I had 2 samples of that scrub, and I thought I'm going to save them up and make a video because I thought that it's going to be similar to the Revolution Pineapple Glow Gommage Peel. This was released after the, you know, Wishful one came out, and it was so obvious it's supposed to be like a direct dupe. So I wanted to test them out side by side. But the thing is that, like, the Wishful samples I had, you can probably see it in the video, they were just kind of weird. Like, I had 2 of them and they were fairly new. I think they were just like a couple months old, and they just completely like congealed in the packaging, so I couldn't really use the scrub anyway. So I was pretty disappointed. I was kind of just like rolling little balls of stuff on my face, and it didn't really work the way I imagined. Yeah, so I really tried my best to use it, and it did make my face fairly smooth even when I was just rolling the little balls on my face. But I must say that I'm not sure if this is like a fair comparison, but I quite like the Gommage pill from Revolution actually. Like there was an obvious difference in the formulation of the two. So the Wishful one was definitely full of like different fruit extracts, and it had like way more ingredients and a lot of different acids, where this one is fairly like simple. But the Wishful one also had glycerin and hyaluronic acid, so it was like fairly hydrating as well. So I think I can see why people like it based on the ingredients. On the other hand, when you look at the Revolution one, there were a lot less ingredients, I think. There was only one exfoliating enzyme, which is definitely, I mean, that's fine. But what I like about the formula is that you actually have Centella asiatica extract, which is very calming, together with panthenol and allantoin, which are also very calming. So you're not just exfoliating and irritating your skin, you're also calming it down with the same product, which I really appreciate. From the hydrating standpoint, it only had glycerin, which, I mean, could be worse, right? There could be nothing. I don't know how similar they actually are. They did feel way different on the skin, but just because the Wishful samples I had were a little bit weird. Ooh, and I think that is it. Those were all my skincare dupes. I hope you like them. I hope you might try some of them out. These are definitely good tips if you want to try some specific skincare products, but you want to save some coin. And I would recommend all of these cheaper alternatives if you just want to check out the texture or how the product feels, or if you can see yourself using something like that in the future. I think all of these kind of are in that like weird product category. Testing out exfoliants, definitely good to save money on in case your skin really doesn't like it. When it comes to toners and like serum toners, also a good idea to just see if the jelly texture is for you, if the creamy texture is for you, because you know, not everybody has everything. I'm just very happy I managed to find these dupes and hopefully you could see it in the comparison clips, which were actually my skin and natural lighting. You're welcome. My skin looks like shit now, but gotta show it to the world. Gotta show you the truth, you know. Anyway, I think that's it. So thank you very much for watching, consider subscribing, and if you want to see more videos when I talk about skincare, you can check out the playlist. See ya, bye!